Welcome to this new lesson. Today we will do a new project. The project name is YouTube Insights. So what is YouTube Insights? YouTube Insights is an intelligent web application designed to provide valuable insights from YouTube videos. The app leverages OpenAI's Whisper API for both transcription and translation, allowing users to analyze YouTube videos. It then utilizes OpenAI's ChatCompletion API to generate insightful keywords and topics from transcribed and translated content. So what are the key features of YouTube Insights? First, transcription and translation. Users can input a YouTube video URL and the app will extract the video audio and use the Whisper API for accurate transcription and translation. Keyword and topic extraction. Using OpenAI's ChatCompletion API, the app generates essential keywords and identifies the main topics discussed in the video content. Users can quickly grasp the video's themes without watching it entirely. Use cases for YouTube Insights include content creators. Creators can analyze their own videos to understand the main topics covered, identify important keywords. Researchers can quickly gain insights into YouTube videos relevant to their studies without having to watch each video entirely. And language learners can transcribe and translate YouTube videos to practice listening and comprehension. Okay, let's now see a demo of the application. So this is the application page. The user can specify a link here. He can specify if it is in English or not, and then do send. Let me start that. Let me do this video. It is in English, I know, so I'll do send. Now it will take a little bit time because first it will download the YouTube video. It will download only the audio from the video. Then it will transcribe or translate or both the video. In this case, it will just transcribe because it is in English. Then it will use the ChatCompletion APIs to pass this transcription and return keywords and topics and their descriptions. As you can see here, it returned these keywords which are very relevant to the video. Also here there are the topics discussed and a description of each topic. Of course, we can do that in another video that is in French, for example, which is this video. It is not in English, so I have to specify this. Then I will send. Now it will download the audio video. Then it will transcribe it. Then it will translate it. Then the translation will be sent to ChatCompletion API to extract the keywords and the topics discussed in the video. Okay, so again, you can see these are the keywords and here are the topics and their descriptions. Okay, let's now go ahead and create the project. So I'll go to the folder. I will create a new folder. I will call it YouTube Insights. I will go inside this folder. I will open Visual Studio Code. So to do so, I open a command prompt. And here I'll do code space dot to open Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I will trust this folder. Now I will start a terminal. I will initialize a node project in npm init. Default. Here I will name the open file app.js. I will continue with all the defaults. Okay, so now we have this application. Let's install the dependencies. So npm install. We have the OpenAI. and the dot environment, because we are going to set an environment variable with the API key. Okay, so both packages seems to have been installed successfully. Now I will create the files that I need. I will first create the app.js. I will then create the playground.js. I will create a folder. I will call it config. It will contain the OpenAI configuration. And I will create another folder. I will call it controllers. Controllers, yes. I will also create the environment file. It is .env. Here we will specify the OpenAI key as an environment variable, and we will access it from the configuration. Okay, let me now introduce the OpenAI API key. The key name is OpenAI key equal to this key. Let me show you where to get this key from. This key, if you go to your OpenAI platform.openai.com, go to your account, then go to API keys. So you will create it here. You will not see the already created API keys because you can only see them when you create them. So when you create here, you create secret key, you will get this key and you will save it. So save it in a safe place because you will not going to see it again. Of course, there is another property we will need shortly, which is in the settings, which is the organization default ID. So we will need that shortly. Okay, let's go back to Visual Studio Code. Now in the config, I will create the configuration file. It is OpenAI config.js. Okay, let us now require the OpenAI library. We should import both the configuration and the actual OpenAI object. Now let's require the .env library and initialize it, .config to initialize it. That will make all the API keys in the .env file to be available on the process object. Then let's create the configuration object that will take a JavaScript object with two main keys. So the first key is the organization ID, which I just showed you where to get it from. And the second key is the API key, which is now available on the process inside the env folder. So here we have got the configuration object for OpenAI. Then we create the OpenAI API object. We pass to it the configuration, and that will initialize the OpenAI API object, and we can use it to make calls. Now we store this in a variable OpenAI, which we will export because we will be using it from any controller that need to make any interaction with the OpenAI APIs. This is for this lesson. We will start building the application in the next lesson.